confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 532,730. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 8,345. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 2,657, with total confirmed deaths at 78. We anticipate those numbers to change as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Chertanich. It's 4 p.m. on Tuesday, December 15th. President-elect Joe Biden addressed the nation last night shortly after electors in all 50 states and the District of Columbia cast ballots affirming Biden's presidential victory over Donald Trump. California's 55 electoral votes put Biden over the top, clearing the 270 vote mark needed. In total, Biden received 306 electoral votes. Biden urged that now is the time to turn the page, to unite, and to heal. The inauguration for President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will take place on Wednesday, January 20th, 2021. The effort to recall California Governor Gavin Newsom may be gaining momentum. Recall organizers say they've collected more than half of the nearly 1.5 million petition signatures needed since its launch in June to place the recall on the ballot, which could trigger a mid-year election. The November 6th deadline to collect signatures was extended as supporters of the recall argued the COVID-19 pandemic limited their ability to gather signatures. The first-term Democrat faces criticism over a number of recent events, including a violation of his own coronavirus order when attending an indoor dinner party with friends at the French Laundry restaurant, where photos emerged of Newsom not wearing a mask or social distancing. This, along with tax increases, the high rate of homelessness, sanctuary city policies, as well as the suspension of the death penalty, and most recent reports that Newsom's Plum Jack Group, the restaurant and wine business that he has investments in, received $3 million in federal PPP funds that many small businesses around the state were denied. In June, Newsom issued a statement in response to the recall efforts and said it could cost taxpayers $81 million. In Newsom's 2 years in office, he's already survived 5 recall petitions against him. A group of 11 California state senators are urging Governor Gavin Newsom to let restaurants reopen by moving them into the essential category statewide. In a letter sent to Newsom on Friday, lawmakers say that restaurants are active participants in local neighborhoods, providing meals to senior citizens and working with food banks to feed families struggling to put food on the table. The letter also states that in 2019, 1.8 million jobs statewide were tied to the restaurant and food service industry. It also says that roughly 60% of eateries are owned by people of color and 50% are owned or partially owned by women. Governor Newsom held a press briefing this morning to give updates on the state's latest response to the coronavirus pandemic. A sobering message was shared as Newsom gave updates on the latest death counts and record-breaking daily new cases reported. Despite sharing that 5,000 additional body bags have been ordered and 60 53-foot refrigerators are on standby at hospitals around the state, the majority of Newsom's briefing was optimistic as news of vaccination distributions continue this week. Newsom says he sees the light at the end of the tunnel, with the first set of vaccinations having arrived in California on Monday. Newsom says 33,140 doses were distributed to 4 locations throughout the state, including Los Angeles. 24 additional locations in the state will receive their shipments today, with 5 additional sites scheduled for tomorrow. Newsom says that amounts to 60% of the initial allotted vaccinations committed by vaccine manufacturer Pfizer. Newsom says 327,600 doses were made available for the first distribution, with an additional 393,900 doses arriving in California next week, and finally 672,000 doses of MODERNA to arrive by the end of December once it is approved by the FDA. California is also launching a new campaign to provide vaccinations in all 58 counties in California with a focus on equitable distribution and safety. Tier 1 of the vaccine distribution includes acute care, psychiatric and correctional facility hospitals, skilled nursing and assisted living facilities, along with paramedic, EMT, and others providing emergency medical services. Tier 2 includes home health care and in-home supportive services, public health field staff, community health workers, primary care, correctional facility, and urgent care clinics as well. Then Tier 3 includes specialty clinics, lab workers, dental and oral health clinics, and pharmacy staff not working in settings at higher tiers. As healthcare workers are stretched thin and ICU capacity remains dangerously low at 1.7% available, Newsom says 507 staff have been deployed to 20 counties, including 137 from the CalMAP program, 300 contract staff members, 49 California National Guards, and 21 Health Corp team members. Qualified healthcare professionals are asked to sign up to help during this pandemic, those who may have recently retired or are not working full-time. So far, tens of thousands of workers have already stepped forward. You can learn more at covid19.ca.gov. California broke another record again, setting the highest single-day coronavirus case count to more than 42,000 on Monday. This was the first time more than 40,000 cases were reported, with the most recent high set on December 8th with nearly 35,000 cases. Across the 5 regions of California defined by the Department of Public Health, Southern California is reporting the highest number of cases, with 690 cases per 100,000 residents in the last 7 days. While Los Angeles County reported just over 7,300 new cases Monday evening, officials say that's actually a low figure as more are anticipated, but due to a backlog in reporting from one of the larger labs. Currently, there are 3,081 patients admitted into the ICU in California, compared to 2,000 patients at the beginning of December. Governor Newsom, along with the county's public health director, Barbara Ferrer, says the effects of the recent stay-at-home order won't be seen for several more weeks. Hospital bed capacity continues to fall to dangerous levels throughout the Southern California region, which is now operating at only 1.7% capacity. Ventura County also dropped down to 1% capacity, and Riverside County at 0%, which puts them into a surge. Authorities say Los Angeles County now has fewer than 100 beds available in the ICU. The county's public health director, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, says the public can also help by avoiding emergency rooms if possible, by calling your healthcare provider instead of visiting the ER, or visiting your local urgent care instead. Health officials warn against private gatherings and urge everyone to stay home and physically distance from people outside their household to mitigate the spread of infection. As nursing homes in the U.S. are next in line to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say a vast majority won't start vaccinating their staff and residents until at least next Monday, December 21st. Monday's rollout of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine created some confusion as to whether or not long-term care facilities and nursing homes would take part in this initial immunization, despite the CDC's decision last week to include the residents in the first phase of distribution. That's because the majority of these facilities opted to take part in a federal program that uses pharmacy chains like CVS, Walgreens, and others to facilitate the vaccination of staff and residents. The Federal Pharmacy Partnership for Long-Term Care program will launch on Monday for jurisdictions that opted to use the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. More than 1,100 vaccination clinics at long-term care centers across the country are scheduled on that day. The second round will arrive on December 28th for jurisdictions that opted to use Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine, with the anticipation that it will be approved by the end of this week. According to Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar, the longer lead time was necessary to ensure enough vaccine supply was coordinated and pharmacy partners were scheduled for each facility. While the CDC is allowing nursing homes to get verbal permission from residents, federal officials want to ensure that companies administering the vaccines have time to review all available documentation about the injections and are able to get waivers from residents and their families. As hundreds of hospitals across the country get ready to receive the first batch of the COVID-19 vaccine for medical workers, there may be a second maker joining the market soon, boosting the nation's largest vaccination campaign. The Food and Drug Administration issued a positive review of a second COVID-19 vaccine developed by Moderna and the National Institutes of Health. The FDA says its preliminary analysis confirmed the effectiveness and safety of the vaccine, and a panel of experts are expected to give their recommendations later this week. The first 3 million shots of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine has been designated for frontline health workers and elder care patients. Hundreds of millions more will be needed in the coming months to protect most Americans. Officials expect widespread availability by the middle of 2021. Once doses are widely available, people will be able to use the existing government website, vaccinefinder.org, to find vaccines for COVID, the flu, and other diseases. Officials say even with vaccination, people will still need to take precautions like wearing a face mask and social distancing. Target is extending store hours leading up to the Christmas holiday. Now you'll be able to shop as early as 7 a.m. until midnight, except for Christmas Eve, when most stores will close at 8 p.m., including the location here in Torrance. The retailer also created special shopping hours for seniors and at-risk customers since the start of the pandemic, designating the first hour on Tuesdays for those shoppers. Guests also have the option of shopping online and choosing same-day pickup to avoid the crowds. With less than 2 weeks until Christmas, Del Amo Fashion Center is making it easier than ever to shop for the things you need while spending minimal time in stores. There are 61 stores that are offering curbside or in-store pickups, and shoppers can enjoy extended hours as the mall is now open from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Saturday, and 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. on Sunday. On Christmas Eve, you can still pick up those last-minute gifts as the mall will remain open until 6 p.m. And for those who may not have noticed, a COVID-19 testing site is now located at the mall. Antigen and antibodies testing is being done in the parking lot near Dave & Buster's. Same-day results will be emailed by a CLIA-certified lab, and insurance is accepted. You can check online at testbeforeyougo.com. With 10 days until Christmas, holiday shipping deadlines are quickly approaching. Today is the last day to get your ground shipping out to ensure they arrive at their destination in time to make their way under the Christmas tree. If you plan to ship by FedEx, the cutoff date for Express Saver is December 21st, December 22nd for 2-day service, and the 23rd for overnight delivery. If you're planning to ship by UPS, then December 21st is your cutoff date for 3-day select shipping, December 22nd for second-day air, and December 23rd for next-day air service. And if you're planning to use the United States Postal Service, then December 18th is the cutoff date for first-class deliveries, December 19th for priority mail, and December 23rd for priority mail express. Members of the Torrance City Council will meet tonight to conduct city business virtually beginning at 7 p.m. Among the agenda items include a resolution honoring Cindy Snodgrass of the Community Services Department upon her retirement after 31 years of dedicated service. And a proclamation will be read honoring Rick Shigaki, the Communications and Information Technology Department Director, upon his retirement after 17 years serving the city. Several more commission seats are also expected to be filled tonight, as well as several administrative matters to be discussed. You can tune into the meeting live tonight starting at 7 p.m. right here on our channel, online, and on our social media platforms. If you feel like taking the night off cooking in the kitchen, the city encourages you to take part in a local campaign called Torrance Takeout to support local restaurants during this pandemic. As local eateries continue to modify their business operations to meet the most recent county restrictions of banning in-person dining, The community is invited to order out tonight from one of the hundreds of restaurants in Torrance. Now, this campaign also includes a fun contest. By taking part in the Torrance Takeout campaign, you could win a cardboard cutout of a family member so that it could feel like you're dining with family while staying safely apart. All you have to do is order takeout from a Torrance restaurant, take a photo of your meal, and post it to your Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook account. Then tag the restaurant if possible, or provide their contact information and tag @TorranceCA. Use the hashtag Torrance Takeout and share how delicious your meal was. Now, each post counts as one entry into the raffle, and you may enter more than once for a better chance at winning. Each entry must be a different meal and restaurant. Winners will be announced on social media. The contest begins today and runs through January 1st. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. The spirit of giving continues to be shown in the downtown Torrance community, as many have partnered with an organization called Secret Hearts, helping to provide a Christmas to families in need this holiday season. For 30 years now, local community members have continued to donate to support the most in need of help, and with the pandemic, so many families have fallen on hard times. Along with monetary donations, grocery bags filled with food, along with a handmade quilt, homemade stockings, toiletries for kids, and much more were donated thanks to the residents in this unique and special community. It's neighbors like these that truly show how Torrance cares for their community, especially during these difficult times. Now, if you have a great story to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as Christine Lee brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.